Hey guys, today we have another disassembly video. We're going to be taking a look at a Robinson Armament M96. They're kind of homage to the original Stoner 63 from the 1960s. So let's go ahead, tear into it, see how this gun comes apart. It's actually fairly complicated, which you can expect with a gun that can get changed into multiple different configurations, but let's take a look. Alright guys, so starting off with the disassembly here, as you can see this is a massive 20-inch barrel 5.56 rifle, so I'm actually going to start in a bit of a weird spot and go ahead and take out the stock. So first actually I'm just going to pop out the magazine here, and then you can see this is all being held together with HK style push pins, so these are non-captive, and I'll go ahead and push the one for the stock across. This one's generally a little bit less tight than the other ones in here, but still takes a bit of force to pop that guy out, and you can see it's not retained. None of the pins are retained, but then to take the stock off, we just need to kind of lift up on it, and it will pop off the back. So you can see there's a metal tongue here and then a bar going across, so that essentially fits underneath the bar there. Now, one cool note about this stock is this is the one part that is compatible with an original Stoner 63. And then another kind of cool feature for here, you can see in the butt plate here, there's a pin and a little divot in there. That divot's meant for the tip of a bullet, so we can just press that tip in there and go ahead and pop out that push pin, at which point we can go ahead and pull the actual butt plate of the stock off. Well, once I do one more thing, which is take out our sling loop. So if you want to have the sling loop on the right side, the left side, this is how you do it. It's very easy to swap over. And then the butt plate comes off, so that's just a simple polymer piece, and then you can see the screw down in there to hold on the stock adapter. So if you want to adjust from right to left for your sling mount, that's how you do it. So super quick, easy to do, just one push pin. Now that this is in a bit more manageable length, I'm going to go ahead and remove the barrel. Now there's a different type of step. If you want to remove your trigger group or your magazine, well, first you can do that, your handguard, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the barrel first. Now if you look up in the mag well, there's going to be a bolt catch, which is at the very back. It's really hard to see in there, but you can see the tongue for it. So to lock the bolt back, press up on the bolt catch, let the charging handle go forward, and then that's going to go ahead and hold the bolt open. So you need the bolt to be in the open position to remove the barrel. Now to do that, there is a single latch down here underneath. So again, this started out as basically a light machine gun with all of its different forms here. So it does have a very easy to remove barrel. So we just push in on that button, and then the barrel will just pull straight out the front of the receiver. Now that you have it out, one thing you definitely want to do, or make sure it doesn't happen, is your bolt going slamming forward into the trunnion. So that's not a good thing. So what you should do here is go ahead, pull back on the bolt a little bit, and then slowly let it go home so it's no longer under spring pressure in there. Now setting that aside and looking at the barrel here, being a band era rifle, this is not allowed to have a threaded barrel, or at least it wasn't at the time it was made. So it actually has a muzzle brake which is integrated into the barrel itself there that you can see. Now coming back to the gas block, this has an FAL style of gas system, so you can see as I click it around, that gas vent hole is going to get smaller because of the angle of the gas adjuster here, our regulator, and it'll come back all around to the full open position there. So it is very easy to adjust, and then we just have the hole there for our piston, as well as a chamber area here, which is very similar to a standard AR-15. And now that we have the barrel out, we can go ahead and start popping across all of the HK style pins. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out by popping out the handguard pin. So I'll just take a punch, pull that guy out, again, non-retained. But at this point, we can actually just pull down on the handguard. Takes a little bit of force here, and it will slide right off of there. So you can see it's just a simple polymer piece here. And this is the cage that the receiver made with all of its lightning holes. Absolutely beautiful, really nice construction on this thing. Now next up, I'm going to take out the next pin, which is right here with our barrel latch. So just pop that guy across. This one tends to come out pretty easy. And again, we'll go ahead and set that guy aside. We have another pin here at the rear end of the magazine well. So we'll go ahead and pop that guy out and set that guy aside. And then the final pin here, and this one's usually a bit tighter, is going to be at the end of the receiver. And I'm going to go ahead and take a punch, hopefully knock this guy out Again, it's very tight on mine. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull off the magazine well, and we'll take a quick look at this actually. So you can see it has almost a Daewoo style of ejector here. So it's spring-loaded, fixed style of ejector here on the side. And then we also have our bolt catch here, which is actuated by the magazine, but of course there's no manual bolt drop on it, so you have to run the charging handle. But other than that, this is just a stamped steel part, which is all welded together, and really nice construction on it though. And with that guy out, we'll go ahead and come back here, and let's see if that released a little bit of tension here on this rear pin. It did, so I'll go ahead and continue trying to pop this guy across. There we go. And we'll go ahead and pull that last pin out there, and we can go ahead and pop off the lower receiver. Now, checking out our lower receiver and trigger group here, you can see we have a 45-degree safety selector, which is really, really nice, and there's a little plunger in there which puts pressure on it. You can see it working there. And then we have our trigger group in there, and this is one of my favorite parts of the M96 because it is a very, very nice trigger. You can see it has a hook style of trigger, sort of similar to an AK, and catches on the hammer there at the side. This I really like because this is actually a forerunner to the Robinson Armament XCR-L or XCR series. And you can see it basically uses the same style of trigger mechanism with the catch there on the hammer. If I go ahead and let this guy forward, we can show you that side by side. So it's essentially the same system, just reverse. So really cool, and it's actually a very, very nice trigger. Next up, we're going to take the bolt carrier group out of the rifle, and we need to go ahead and disconnect it from our gas system up front. So the piston is connected by this button here. So what you need to do is take a punch or something, press in on that button, and then pull back on the bolt carrier, and that's going to go ahead and release it from your gas piston, and you can pull it out the rear. Now, to disassemble the bolt carrier group, it is really easy. You can see we have our firing pin, retaining pin back here right there. So we just need to press in on the small side with the tip of a bullet here. And then we can go ahead and pull that guy across, at which point your firing pin and spring will kind of shoot out the back just a little bit. Set that guy aside, and we can pull out the firing pin. As you can see, this is a kind of different style of firing pin. It does have a spring on it as well. There are a couple different generations of a firing pin. This was actually recalled, and they went to this pin style of block here at the back. The original, the very early ones, had issues with like slam firing, stuff like that, due to the way it was designed. So this is one that has had the warranty fix done on it. And I'll go ahead and set this guy aside. And coming back to our bolt carrier group, from here it is very, very familiar for anyone who has an AR-15. Pull out our cam pin here, so you can see nothing too crazy there. It's just a standard cam pin with a little bit of a different design up at the top. And then we can go ahead and pull the bolt straight out the front. And again, this is an AR-15 or AR-180 style of bolt. The only difference is, of course, it doesn't have gas rings because it's not an internal piston system. And then you have the cutout here for the fixed ejector. Extractor, all that though is very similar. And then just looking at the bolt carrier here, nothing too crazy to see. You just have the button there where it attaches to the piston. And that's about it for it. And I promise we are almost done here. Next though, we need to remove our gas tube or gas cylinder up here. So you can see there is some knurling up at the front, and that's because we're going to go ahead and rotate it. You can see there's a pin in there. We need to rotate it till it aligns with the cutout. And then it should just pop out the front. You might have to wiggle it back and forth a little bit to get it out. So it's not the easiest to do there, but eventually it's going to pop and we can go ahead and pull our gas cylinder off. At this point, we just have our long stroke gas piston as well as a recoil spring in there. So this is going to be kind of hard to demonstrate, but there is essentially a pin in the back, and we have to pull this out by rotating it. So you want to press in on it a little bit. You want to rotate it until it kind of pops there. And then we can go ahead and pull our long stroke gas piston as well as a recoil spring out the front. And just to give you another close-up look here, this is going to be that recoil spring and gas piston assembly with a little locking notch here. And one thing I think is really cool on this, and this part is actually pretty different from the original Stoner 63. The recoil spring was originally behind the bolt carrier group instead of wrapped around the piston. This is a design which was taken from the SIG 550 series. So you can see this here. This is from my SIG 553, this guy. So I went ahead and pulled out the piston on it. And it's essentially more or less the same design there. So you can see the cutout in the back and then the recoil spring being wrapped around the gas piston. And finally, this is the heart of the M96 and the original Stoner 63, so the receiver. And what this is meant to do is you can reconfigure this into multiple different configurations, a carbine, a rifle, several different variants of light machine guns, and they even had a prototype for a survival rifle. But the way they do that for the belt-fed ones is they actually, so you can see normally in the rifle configuration, it's with the latch down here. And for the machine gun configurations, they actually flip it over. So you flip over the receiver and then you reinstall the different parts, the handguard up here. The charging handle was a bit different between the 63 and the 63A. And then you can go ahead and put a belt feed mechanism up top, and there you go, you have a light machine gun. And you can see all the different little ringlets that are welded on here to facilitate actually adding those parts on there. But looking inside the receiver, you can see we have the trunnion up front here. And then our barrel latch mechanism. So if we look inside there, you might be able to see it. Yep, there's the barrel latch right there. So that's what's holding it in. And this is just an absolutely beautiful design, stamped welded steel in here. So this thing is gorgeous. And here is a Robinson Armament M96 fully disassembled. And as you can see, there are quite a few different components to it, which are fairly difficult to make. So I can definitely understand why they ceased production back in 2012 due to the high cost to actually manufacture these things. So thanks for checking out the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and keep an eye out for the full review when it drops on this guy.